Hi guys, this is Ken from TechOpened back again with another video, this time to show you the unboxing of the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. It is a late unboxing, mainly because I was waiting for the price to drop, but it's finally here, so let's check this out. Let's open this and see if it's worth all the money or not. Okay guys, so let's get this open. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, it will really help me out. Leave your like if you like the video, and any comments you might have regarding this device. Feel free to leave all the comments in the comment section. So yeah, let's unbox this and see this little guy. If you want to get this at a good price, you can also check out the links in the description. I will put the links there if you're interested in getting this for a better price. So this supplier sent this really nicely packaged, well protected. This isn't the first device I've got from them, so that's how they sent this. Here in Europe we have a different plug. We have this plug right here. So they sent me this little adapter included, so it works here in Portugal. And here's the box. It's the usual box that we see from the Note line, which has the S Pen here on the front. It has a designation of the device, which in this case it's the Note 10 Plus. Here on the right side there's nothing, it's completely flat with nothing. Here on the top as well, and on the left you have this little Samsung embossed logo right here in text, which says Samsung Galaxy Note 10. And in terms of screen size, you have 170.5 or 6.7 inches. You can see that the bezels on this, the difference between the size and the size of the phone and the size of the screen is minimal. So that right away tells you right away that the bezels are super slim, and that's more than welcome. You have the Quad HD plus dynamic AMOLED display, which is an improvement over the Note 9, the previous generation. So inside the box we have what? Let's just cut this open. So you can see this is brand new, it's sealed. So let's open the box. And you can see now that the manuals come in the top of the box, on the lid. It's now not under the phone like it used to be. And you can see the phone here. So pre-applied screen protector on the phone, which I definitely recommend this. I think all brands should do this. And then you have this little tab to pull. So you just pull this little tab to release the phone from the box. And you can see the beauty of this phone. It's just simply amazing. It's my favorite color. You have the Aura Glow, Aura Blue, I believe, Aura Black, Aura White, and I believe there's also a red one coming out, or there's a rumored red one come out. Not quite sure if that rumor is correct or not, to be honest. But you can see, beautiful. And you can see the camera setup right here. So you have the triple cameras right there, and then you have the time of flight camera. So pretty anxious to test that out. And then on the top of the device you can see the SIM card tray, which is a hybrid SIM card tray. You can either use 2 SIM cards or a SIM card and a memory card, up to 1 terabyte. You have the microphone, and then you have this little hole right here. It's kind of like a blowhole, and it's used to actually help with the resonance of the earpiece right here. Since they reduced the earpiece to like a super tiny size, you can't even see it. It's so tiny you can't even see it. And I believe they did a little air hole, like a ventilation hole, to improve sound quality with the speaker. And then on the bottom part you have the bottom firing speaker, the S Pen slot, you have the USB-C port right there to charge your device, another microphone, and yes, you've noticed no 3.5mm headphone jack, which is a pity on this phone because this is the I can do everything kind of phone, the no compromise phone. I was sad that they took that off. I honestly am. It's not like a deal breaker. I wouldn't, stop buying the phone just because of that, but it is kind of a pain in the butt. Yeah, but whatever. Here on the left side, you can see there's a little antenna right there. You have the volume rocker right here. You have this little button now. The power button is now not on the right side, it's on the left side. You just use this to power on your phone. To power it off, you have to do it via software. So this one does either the power button option or Bixby. But this is a double function button right here. Right here you have nothing else. Here on the bottom, I forgot to show you the 2 antennas. You have one here on this side. On the right side, it's completely flush with nothing. There's no buttons here, no power button now here. I have to get used to that because I'm used to having it here on the right side. And on the rear, you can see the cameras. You have the triple setup right here, time of flight, flash, Samsung logo also. And yeah, it feels nice in the hand. Really, really nice. Awesome. Now let's check out what else is inside the box. So you have, this is a little tag with the serial number, with the email numbers. I'm not going to show you that. Here on the box itself, you have this little cover. It's like a little divider. You have the USB-C to USB-C cable. You can see here, now it's USB-C to USB-C, no USB-A to USB-C. And the cable is around 1 meter long. Sufficient, but not long enough for me. Whatever. On the inside of the box, in the inside of the box, you also have the AKG headphones. So you can see here, like I said, little sad detail. Let me see if I can pull this out to show you. And you can see the little USB-C. So no 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, which is a really sad. This one comes with the UK charger since this is imported from the UK, but they did send an adapter for me. So you can see the UK charger is like this. You have to pop this up and they send this little adapter. So I can just connect this and use this here in Portugal because I live in Portugal. And you can see the little port right there, USB-C port. And also inside the box, you have this little small one. This one's different from other suppliers. The other suppliers have the OTG connector, a little adapter, and another connector. This one doesn't have that. The only thing it ships with is the S Pen replacement tool, the little prong. You can see here the prongs. So you use this to pry your little tips out, and you have two little tips, extra tips there. They used to send more tips before in the previous generations, but this time they don't send it, maybe because people hardly use these. Now here inside the lid we have the manuals, like I said. So if we open this, you have the SIM ejection tool right there, and this supplier actually sends, and they send me this little cover, TPU cover. I did unbox another Note 10, sorry. Note 10 Plus. It came with another one similar to this one, but it was more like an rigid acrylic case, which I like better than this one. But it's I'm thankful to get this always in the box. That's pretty nice and useful. And that's it. Inside the box, that's all we have. Now we're going to power on the device for the first time. So you can see, so I'm going to power this on. There it goes. In case you're wondering, I'm actually filming with the GoPro Hero 8. It's my new GoPro Hero 8. I wanted to test it, see if I could actually do a video with this. And I was pretty curious to see if it would work. You might see a little bit of moire effect, but that probably has to do with the frame rate that I'm using with the camera. Sorry about that. But this way you can also see the quality of the GoPro Hero 8 in case you're curious, in decent lighting, not really good lighting. And it's on. So the first thing that shows up is the part where you have to set up your language and whatnot. So I'm going to set this up. It's very intuitive. You just have to follow the on-screen instructions and set up your phone. Get your little SIM ejection tool. I'm going to check out the tray itself in detail. I'll power this off. Okay, so in order to get the SIM card in, all we have to do is plug out the tray. Now, in my case, I actually have a little 64 gigabyte memory card I'm going to use. Not that I need it, but I'm just going to show you how this works. I mean, 256 is more than enough for me. So we get the little memory card in, like so. And then you get your SIM card. Nano SIM card, it has to be a nano SIM card, like that. And you put it in this way. So you have the screen facing upwards. Both cards have to face upwards as well. And the little hole has to align right there with that hole right there. And you just push it in completely. Make sure it's flush right here. And now we're going to power it on. I'm not going to explain the entire setup because this is the boring part. It's very intuitive. All you have to do is follow the on-screen instructions, and it's really simple. You just read what's in the instructions, you check the little boxes and go forward. If you have a Samsung account, you connect your Samsung account. If you have a Gmail account, you connect your Gmail account, and so forth. This comes inside the box with a 25-watt charger, which allows you to charge your device from 0 to 100% in 1 hour. I actually tested this out, and it's fast. It's super fast, unbelievable. You also have the option of the 45-watt charger that isn't in the box. You have to buy that aside. It's an extra, which will even charge faster, so that you can get an idea of how amazing this is. Awesome. Definitely go. On the Note 9, we had a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. On the Note 10 Plus, we have the 4,300 milliamp hour batteries. We have a bigger screen in more or less the same form factor that we had in the Note 9. And this is the security of your phone. You can set up face recognition, fingerprints, pattern, PIN, password, or not do anything at all and set that up later. I'm going to set up fingerprint. So I'm going to do continue. And now it's asking to set up my fingerprint. So for now, I'm just going to use my thumb to start out. And you're actually going to press this little screen right here on this section. It has to be in this area. You have to lift and raise your fingers several times till this turns all green. And you see this at 100%. So you'll see a little counter going up. So now it's asking to kind of shift your finger a little bit to another side so it gets all the edges of your fingers, because we don't always place our finger the same way on the screen. And now you can actually add another fingerprint if you want to. I'm not sure how many you can add, but you can add like your left hand, for example. But I'm going to go next, skip that. And now you can have all these apps. So these are additional apps. So if you don't want these installed, you can uncheck all of these if you want to. So these are all optional. And I'm just going to do, okay, I'm just going to add them all. So we have some apps to show you here right away.
Log into a Samsung account to get the most out of your device.
Here you can set up, you can also back up all your data. You can get all the backup data that you have if you have a Samsung account. If you don't have one, I do recommend that you create one. You just click on create account. You can create your account, and then you come back and you do this, this login. So you have a Samsung account to back up your data. But I'm going to skip that for now. I just want to show you the menus, but I'm going to skip that for now as well.
All right, we're all set.
So the phone is going to be kind of basic right now because I did none of my own personal settings. And you get the screen. So it now tells me what SIM card I have inserted and whatnot. I'm just going to do done. And here it is. So we don't have any info here for the weather because I haven't got my location in, but I'm going to allow that. So now I allowed it, and you have the little option right there. If you're thinking these icons are like super big, I totally agree, but you can make them smaller. But for now, we're just going to get like into the general look of the phone. Then I'll do a more in-depth review of the phone. So this video isn't too long. I'm just going to keep this to the unboxing and overall look of the phone. So you can see it feels snappy so far. Nothing to say about that. You have this little button, which I'm pressing to call the Bixby. So now it's already asking for an update. I'm not going to do that right now. Edge screen. We already know that from the previous phones. You can also personalize all the options here if you want to edit them. You can add and edit whatever you want. I'm not going to get into depth with that because I'm going to show that in another video maybe. So I know you guys are waiting for the famous peel. Here it is. The phone has been peeled. And you can see it right now. I'm just going to give it a nice light wipe. You can see how beautiful this phone is. It looks amazing. And we also have some film here on the sides. So this version of the Note 10 Plus is actually the Snapdragon 855 with the Adreno 640 GPU. And I chose the Snapdragon specifically because I know it's a little bit faster than the Exynos version, which it's not what normally happens. Normally the Exynos version has been the quicker version of both. So I chose the Snapdragon version, that's why I imported this one. Okay, so I now have the phone set up. I got all my own wallpapers in, and the apps, they all updated from my Samsung account, so pretty easy with that. There are some that I had to actually put the password in, others no, but it's already set up. Now we're going to check out what software comes in the box. So let me just go into settings so you can see this really quickly. Okay, so about phone, software information. So out of the box, you get Android version 9 and the One UI on top of Android. So it's version 1.5. It's clean. It feels nice to me. I have nothing to say about it. No complaint whatsoever. It feels quick, snappy, smooth. I have no issue with that whatsoever. In the drop-down menu, let's check out the drop-down menu. You can see there's like tons of options. And now to power off the phone, you have to do it via software. So you're not going to use this little power button to power off the phone. You actually have to go into this drop-down menu, and you have this little option here. And as soon as you click it, you have power off, restart, emergency mode, or lockdown mode. So you have to do it through there, which was kind of strange at first, but just how it is. In the drop-down menu, you can see all the icons available. There's like tons of them. Here you can change all the order of the icons, so you can move these around if you want to, depending on the on your needs. And then in terms of the camera, let's just check out the camera really quick. I'm not going to get into like extreme detail with the camera. It's just for you guys to see. So here you have the color modes. You can change all these kind of preset modes to change the color of your photo, kind of like what you see in Instagram and other apps. So you can post them right away if you want to get some filters right out of the photo. You have the aspect ratio, so you have full, so it's full screen. You have 1:1, 16:9, or 4:3. You can change the resolution here from UHD 60 frames per second, UHD, Full HD 60 frames per second, and Full HD, and then HD. So you can change all those definitions right here. And then from the front selfie camera, you can have either UHD, Full HD, or HD. Then in terms of options, we're right now in photo mode. We can go into video mode. You have now super steady, which you can actually switch on or off. It's the improvement, one of the improvements made on the camera. It's been improved as well. I might do a video comparing the stabilization of this with the GoPro Hero 8 that I have now. If you're interested in checking that out, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You also have here in the camera mode, you have this little thing which is AR doodle. So I don't have a face here right now to actually show you that, but you can actually draw in virtual reality around a subject. You can do like doodles, and it's kind of gimmicky, but it's cool to have that nonetheless. Then you have live focus video also with all these modes which you can change. And we also do not have any like ideal situation to show you this, but you can see right now from the image kind of what it does. There's one that actually blurs the background in video, which is pretty cool, and I believe it works in both the main rear camera and also the front shooting camera, the selfie cam. If you're interested into that kind of thing, you have super slow-mo, you have slow-mo, the normal slow-mo, you have hyperlapse. Then I want to do a video in depth of the camera of this. I'm not going to get into detail, like I said. Then you have live focus, you have pro mode, panorama. In pro mode, you can see all the options available, so you can change all of these options. You have panorama, you have night shot. I've tested night shot out, it works pretty well. And you can also change the lenses as well, the angle of the lens that you want. You have food, photo, and then you have Instagram mode, which you can actually post directly onto Instagram. You can see the little icon actually shows up there. So all of these modes in the camera, lots of options available. In this color device, it comes with the blue S Pen. It's slightly smaller. There are no logos here on the pen, and you still have this little clicky button. So in order to open the camera, you long press on the S Pen, the camera pops up, and you can actually press this little button and take photos. This is really handy if you're like doing selfie photos, group photos. You want to use this remotely, pretty awesome for that. and it's one of the coolest features, in my opinion, of the S Pen in terms of controlling the camera. You also have the zoom, so I can do this gesture by pressing the little button. You can also zoom out. Pretty cool to do that. A little bit gimmicky as well, but whatever. And you can actually go through the modes by swiping left or right. And you can change the camera modes. There's lots of other features that you can do with this, but I'm not going to get into detail with that either. In terms of the S Pen, the menu has changed a little bit. The way the options are rearranged, a little bit different. You can add more if you want to, just by going here. You can add more shortcuts. You can edit this, remove icons, add whatever. And also in the S Pen, you have the option to like create a note. Let's create a note really quickly, and it has screen recognition. So it has writing recognition. So let's do what you, sorry for the bad handwriting, guys. What you can't. Continue Samsung Notes. And here you can see the option. Tap here to convert your handwriting notes to text. Let's just see if it works. So let's do that. Okay, so it did recognize, but it didn't give the spaces. There's no spaces here, so that's the only kind of thing. Let me see if it can convert it correctly. Yeah, so we're missing some spaces here. Let me try that again. Oops. Let me go back. Do that again, just to test it out. So if I do what you can't. So I actually gave this a little bit more space there in the middle. Continued Samsung Notes. To recognize. So now it recognizes the space. So, and you can convert this. So that's pretty cool, and it's also searchable. So that's awesome. That's pretty awesome. So if you get used to using the S Pen, it is handy. You can also use it in the off screen. So let's say I want to jot something down really quickly. You just pop out the S Pen, and you can see now I can write on the screen. So you can do what you can't. And you save this, and it'll be saved in your notes for later on. Pretty cool. And in terms of the sound quality, we can go into a little test here just really quickly. So in terms of sound quality, we're just gonna do a little quick test so you can get the idea. So I'm not going to play that too much either because I'm not using the ideal microphone for that, but you get the idea. The sound feels nice. It sounds nice. There's just one thing. I feel a little bit of vibration in the back of the phone. It's kind of strange. I didn't get that on my Note 9 as much. And also, when you're using the earpiece here for calls, if you have the volume raised too high, the sound actually comes out the back of the phone. So anybody sitting beside you can actually hear the conversation if you have this too loud. So that's kind of a strange feature as well. And I guess it has to do with the fact that they tried to reduce the bezels as much as possible. And they played around with the earpiece here. They reduced it to such a small size that it's actually kind of doing not so good. But that's just how it is. So in terms of the cameras on the rear side of the panel, you can see you have the triple setup here. You have the ultra wide angle lens up there. In the middle, right there, you have the wide angle lens, which is the one you'll probably use the most, and it's a 12 megapixel lens. The one on the top is a 16 megapixel. And then you have the zoom lens right here on the bottom, which allows 2x zoom and 12 megapixels. On the right side, you have the depth sensor right there. So that's a camera that I will use to improve blurry backgrounds, the bokeh effect, and also you can do 3D scanning as suggested by Samsung. And you can also use it, I believe, to measure objects more accurately with an external app. So there's a little app that you can install, and you can actually use the camera to measure objects with the depth sensor. So it plays around with those features to actually get the most accurate reading possible. Not sure if it'll work really well, but that's something we'll have to test out. So yeah, guys, this is like the overall look of the phone. I'm not going to get too much in depth with this because it'll make the video too long. I'll leave all those other features for other videos, like the camera and the performance, the gaming and whatnot. I'll try and do a more in-depth video in parts so it doesn't get too boring. This video is already too long, so to avoid like boring you guys to death, you get the idea. The phone is amazing. The screen is awesome. It feels nice in the hand. It's not for everyone. It's not a one-handed phone at all. Even if you have big hands, you have to, you know, really stretch to get your fingers across, your thumb across the screen. But if you don't mind that, if you don't mind using this with two hands for typing and whatnot, it's an awesome device. I still recommend the Note line. Yes, I'm sad it lost the 3.5mm headphone jack, but that's just something we'll have to live with. I just think that brands that remove this feature should actually at least put some wireless earbuds in the box. I think that would be demanding if they've removed this because they don't want any physical connectors to the phone. If they want everything to be wireless, then they should send wireless earphones in the case, even if they're not top of the line. I think they should mandatorily put that in the box. That's just my opinion. If you agree, leave your comments in the comments section. If you agree with me, maybe we can get some movement going on with that, and hopefully kind of convince them to do that. If they want to remove the 3.5mm headphone jack, then they should at least put some wireless buds in the box. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, leave your thumbs up. If you really like the video, don't forget to subscribe. It'll really help me out. And thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.